Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Versus Night. Tonight, I will be comparing The Snow Creature, released in 1954, versus Man Beast, released in 1956. Alright, so let's get started on this one with something a little bit different. I'm not even going to go into the leads because there is no leads. And I'm not going to go into supporting because there is no name actors in either one of these movies. So there's no point in even going through any of this. My first comparison category is going to be the Yeti. In The Snow Creature, the Yeti is played by Lock Martin. In Man Beast, the Yeti is played by Brianne Murphy. Now, Lock Martin was a giant of an actor. I think he was like something around 8 feet tall or something like that. And he was known for playing the character of Gort in The Day the Earth Stood Still, the first version of that film. His Snow Creature probably could have been badass if they would have come up with a really good design for how he looks. But, horrible design for his character. And something else that I'll get to on story and direction later on this one. But it's a shame. You got this giant actor, could have been an excellent Snow Creature / Yeti, but kind of lackluster. In Man Beast, the Snow Creature / Yeti is played by Brianne Murphy, which is a woman in a suit. Now, I will say that the suit, other than the face, is a little better, but it looks like it's a colored white gorilla suit, is what it really looks like in here, and it's fine for what it is, and because of its look, I will give it the advantage on this one over Lock Martin, and even though the Yeti creature is played by a woman in there, I'm going to give this one to Man Beast. Alright, so let's move on to location and see if we can get a different outcome here. In The Snow Creature, the location where they're supposed to be doing this Himalayas stuff. In both these films, they use a lot of stock footage of the real Himalayas and everything. And for all we know, I mean, they might have used all the same footage to establish the Himalayas and everything, because it kind of does look like it. But in The Snow Creature, it looks really cheap. The locations, the settings, and everything. It is just it's not shot in a way that makes this cheap set locations and everything look even interesting during this expedition. Whereas Man Beast, it's much more entertaining because it has these mountain climbing sequences, which is actually stock footage from an unfinished Mexican film, but having those little sequences of that happening throughout the film, and it's well intertwined into the story, it makes it far more interesting as far as an expedition and the location and everything. And I don't know where they shot the actual shots of the snow around all the actors and everything, but it was quite well done for such a, no budget film. All right, so I am going to give this one to Man Beast as well. Let's move on to the story. Story on The Snow Creature. A scientific expedition intent on collecting botanical samples changes when the guide hijacks the expedition to hunt a Yeti. The plot for Man Beast consists of a young woman who convinces some mountain climbers to trek into the Himalayas in an attempt to find her missing brother. As I said before, the location, it is very boringly put together in these expedition areas, shots, and when the story changes, when they capture this Yeti in the most stupid way ever that I've ever seen. I mean, the Yeti basically collapses its cave on itself and knocks itself out. Couldn't you have come up with a better way to knock the creature out than that? And then it gets freed and rampages through an actual location. Sounds more exciting than it really is. Man Beast, even though it is definitely probably a lower budget than what the Snow Creature is, it is pretty well done for what they were going for, and they used the use of the stock footage very well to present this story of this woman in search of her missing brother and everything. So I'm going to give this one to Man Beast as well. Alright, so let's move on to direction. Even though this is a foregone conclusion, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Snow Creature is directed by W. Lee Wilder, and The Man Beast was directed by Jerry Warren. Alright, so like I said, Jerry Warren uses a lot more stock footage, it seems, than what W. Lee Wilder did. But there's a thing that Wilder does in his film that just annoyed and irked the hell out of me throughout this. And this is a director's choice to do something like this. And that is when Loch Martin's Yeti, anytime it's popping onto the screen or coming in, when it's not actually attacking somebody or physically, he's trying to make things more scary and intense by showing it coming into view. And then he will use that footage over and over and over and over again. And even sometimes he will, reverse that footage to make it look like the Yeti is going back into the shadows. And it is just done so much throughout this film that it becomes annoying as hell. So I am going to give this one to Jerry Warren, even though he had basically no budget on Man Beast. Man Beast is a more entertaining film out of these two. Jerry Warren is kind of like the Ed Wood of films like this, so, I think he did the best he could with the footage that he had to work with in coming up with a story. And that's what he basically did. He took the stock footage that he had at his disposal, and he wrote a story based around it to come up with it. I think he did a pretty effective enough job doing that. Those mountain climbing sequences cut together really well with the shots of the actual actors and everything. And like I said, the snow scenes with them, with snow all around them and everything, was effective and well done. It looks, like it could have been in the Himalayas and stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to give this one to Man Beast as well. So this one was not a challenge at all. Man Beast kicks the shit out of the Snow Creature 0-4. But that does not mean that Man Beast is a good film in the least. It's just the better of these two cheap, badly made films. Just turns out that Man Beast was the better made of these badly made films. So, what do you think of these two films? Do you agree with my assessment? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel where you can request a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing. And when that video goes up, it will go up for all Plus members prior to it going up on the regular schedule for all other subscribers. So if you want to get interactive and help me to get more movies on here that I might not normally review, become a Plus member. Well, that's the end of another Versus Night. If you missed last week's Versus Night, check out the link up in here. Or if you've missed any of the other Versus Nights, check out our playlist and see anything that you have missed.